Hey everyone, so my last video I talked about Dune chapter 24. I really liked that one. And Dune chapter 25, which I just finished, is much more of a mixed bag. So I'll tell you what I like, I'll tell you what I didn't like here in a moment. Before I do, I'm a sci-fantasy author. I wrote a series, I started a series, The Song of Immeru. First book, Earth's Door. If you'd like to check it out, more information in the, more information in the description below. But yeah, Dune, chapter 25, what's it about? So Paul Atreides and Jessica are now hanging out with, let me remember this person's name, Kynes. Kynes is basically a Fremen leader. And they're in sort of an underground complex, hiding from all the mayhem that's going on above ground. And Duncan, Idaho, is with them. So Kynes takes Paul and Jessica into sort of a office area that has a nice safe door, so if any bad people come in, they'll be safe. And Duncan, Idaho, stands guard outside. Now, the part that I didn't enjoy in this, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Frank Herbert really keeps hitting it over our heads that Paul is the chosen one. He's not a kid anymore, he's an adult. And we already saw Jessica kind of go through that whole realization. And now we're seeing Kynes do the same thing, as Paul is masterfully crafting a plan and highlighting why the Fremen should ally with him and the Atreides people. And of course, Kynes is ultimately brought on board with that, at least mentally, because we're getting into his head in this one. But before anything can really happen, the Sardaukar, disguised as Harkonnens, come exploding into this underground complex. You hear Duncan, Idaho behind the door fighting them off. They're pretty much assuming Duncan, Idaho has been killed. And Kynes is like, you go that way, I'll go this way, because they have multiple ways out of this office because they're very smart. And Jessica and Paul flee to a thopter and ride off into a giant sandstorm. And then in the sandstorm, they lose their pursuers. So the part that you probably can tell I didn't enjoy as much as I really get the idea that Paul is the chosen one. I don't necessarily want to hear people thinking in their own heads, that, oh my, we're realizing this kid really knows what he's doing. I kind of get it at this point, but I will say it's consistent. It's well done in terms of, I'm not surprised that, this is how Frank Herbert wants to get it across. I just think it's not really necessary. It's kind of like showing and telling is what he's doing in these scenes. And the part that I liked was just some of the action aspect. We're getting the plot moving. Jessica and Paul are now going off to try to find more Fremen, going into this big sandstorm. I thought all that was pretty cool. I thought the pacing for the chapter was actually really, really solid. So in the end, I'll call I'll say it was a good chapter, and we'll see how things continue to unfold. Although I hope no one else has to realize that Paul is fancy chosen one, because I think he's going to be meeting more people he's never met before. So he should just assert himself as, behold, I am the chosen one, and get on with it. So we'll see what happens. This is just, again, completely subjective. Definitely still enjoying the book, just nitpicking a couple things there. So hope you have a great week. Talk later. Bye-bye.